We are the church. Beyond Sunday. Beyond Sunday. Yes, we are Wheeler Beyond Sunday.
Hello, and welcome to Wheeler Beyond Sunday. We are so glad to be joining you today, and we're going to be discussing our local yard sale, which is a big event for the community and for our church. So I'm Jade, and here today I have
Brenda Johnson. Good morning to everybody.
Sue Greenwell, good morning.
And good morning, I'm Wanda Willingham. I'm happy to be here.
We are so excited to jump into some of these questions about our yard sale. These ladies have been really instrumental in putting it on the past several years, and so we're excited to hear some of their stories and information about how this event has impacted our community. So we're going to start off. If someone could tell us how the yard sale came to be, how long it's been going on, and how it has grown over the years. Bit of a big question.
Approximately, I would say 30 years ago, and I found this out last night by calling Ruth Ann Hayes and Robert Helvey, and we put our old heads together and came up with approximately, it's been going on for 30 years. And we've had one every year on and off. And some years two the United Methodist Women then needed a way to raise funds, and we started with the first yard sale. Harold Wagner hitched up his wagon, and we collected our things up here at the church and took them then down to the
Tennis courts.
tennis court
Mm.
and had a big sale that day. Our first sale we made, and we were so pleased, $1,500.
Yeah,
And
30 years ago.
that is very impressive at that time.
So every year after that, or almost every year, we've had a yard sale. And thank heavens the tennis court's gone, and we now have it in the Family Life Center.
So that's a lot more
So-
comfortable.
Weather does not stop our yard sale.
Yes,
Nothing's.
Not even Hurricane Helene.
Oh,
yes, yes.
So true. So the United Women in Faith, formerly United Methodist Women, is a women's organization in the church that emphasizes missions, especially missions for women and children, though not exclusively. Every penny that the United Women in Faith is raises at this event is given to missions. So how has the yard sale and the funds raised from it enabled you all to support missions and agencies involved in this kind of work?
Well, we've made lots of money, thank goodness. So we divide it between different agencies.
Mhm.
We use it for things here at the church, different groups. And then, of course, we share right now with a group in Blountville.
Mhm.
It's called Loving Acts Ministries.
Yeah.
And they're right down in Blountville. So we are sharing back and
Mhm.
forth.
What kind of ministry do they do?
Same like we do. They give out food to the community on 2 days.
Mhm.
Once or twice a month, they cook dinner on Friday night for anybody that wants to come in.
That's wonderful. What kind of ministries within the church do you guys typically? I feel like probably a lot of different ones, but is there a main one that you guys have kind of focused on?
No,
Actually, no, we give to all of them. The
we give to the youth.
Youth?
And specifically here in the church,
Mhm.
we give to the Blessing Box Ministry.
Mhm.
We give some financial assistance to our nursery. We
Mhm.
also have our wonderful Wheeler Child Care facility downstairs. That's doing really well. In fact, we have a waiting list for that, but we always make sure they have toys and
Yes.
fun little things and books. We have so many books that we love to share.
But also to the youth, United Methodist Men.
If I remember correctly, you guys helped some with Vacation Bible School last year and
Vacation Bible
stuff like that,
School,
that are ministries for our children.
And
Camp in the
to
Community.
Yes, those are both
Um,
wonderful ministries.
And our blessing box, we provided financial assistance for that.
And I know that one is very well used and well loved by people in this
Yes.
area, so it's
Sure.
very appreciated for you guys to support that. Besides providing a major source of funding for these missions throughout the year, how else does the yard sale help people in our community?
I really think it helps. We have a lot of resellers.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people that come in bright and early on Friday morning. I mean, they're lined up like Christmas at Walmart,
Mhm.
and they take buggies full out. And, I think actually that's a mission
Mhm.
because it's helping them. They take we sell it cheap and then they sell it a little bit more, and that's their livelihood. So I think that's helping the community.
And then we have individuals who are so dedicated to helping other people. They will come and just buy winter coats or maternity clothes if we have them.
Mhm.
They will come and buy specific things and just loads of it and give it out at their church
That's
or
wonderful.
wherever.
Mhm.
And then we have the people that come in and look for craft items or fabric if they're making quilts. And we have a lot this year, that stuff. And then we have people who come from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We have the same lady that has been coming for years and years, and she's about 90. And she's one of those buyers that buys
Yeah.
all of this stuff to just give away. And she always
That's
brings
precious.
us candy
Mhm.
and
Brings everyone candy in a little bag, hands it out every
Yeah.
year.
I had never thought about people buying things like in bulk to then use for like their own church's clothes closet or, some other ministry to
Yes,
give away.
they
That's
do.
We have a
wonderful.
lot of that.
Yeah, what a wonderful opportunity for the ministry to spread to other local communities. That's amazing. And then
And sometimes they don't come and buy it. If they come and tell us that they need it,
Mhm.
it's not always bought.
Yeah.
It's sometimes given.
Yeah.
Well, I know last year when I was shopping, you ladies were always very, very generous with me, and you're like, "Oh, don't calculate it, just give me a little bit of money." So, we're very, very thankful for the generous hearts that are a part of this ministry. So our next question is, unless people have attended one of these yard sales before, they might hear you say, "It's a really big yard sale," and think it's like a front yard worth of stuff. I know that was the case for me last year. Was my first year coming to the fall yard sale. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure it's pretty big. They probably fill the gym up. But when you really are here, you realize it's a full-size gym full of items, but then it's also all through the narthex lobby area of our church, down some of the hallways. It's everywhere, overthrowing in a rather large church building.
and if it's outdoor furniture, we put it outside if it is a nice weather day.
Mhm.
And one day we had this huge canoe out in the yard. And each day somebody would put something regarding water in that canoe.
Yeah.
There was life jackets and oars and
Uh-huh.
fishing lines and big blue coolers. So we have a lot of fun.
That is
too.
amazing. So the question is, when it started years ago, and I know you mentioned it, someone taking a wagon down to the tennis courts, did you ever picture it would continue to grow and get this big?
No idea.
Never.
No
Never.
idea. No idea. But it's such, I don't know, it's such a religious experience. To be here, I mean, I hate to put it that way, I guess, but to work with these ladies, it is such fun. It's so tiring. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that perfectly brings us to our next question, which is about the work you guys do the week beforehand. And so, because so much stuff is donated, you are all here pretty much the whole week, setting up, pricing items, sorting dozens and dozens of things. And so, I'm sure, like you mentioned, it's very exhausting work. But like you just said, there is a lot of fun mixed in. So, what are some of the funniest moments that you guys have shared during the setup throughout the years?
One of the things, we will take some of the items that we have and we put them on our heads, or we'll put them over us and have a big time
Mhm.
with that. And then people coming in, sort of relax. It
Yeah.
makes it a little more fun.
Yeah, I realize
I
we're not our
had-
business.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I had ears last year that I put on that had a string that would go in and out, but these big ears that the string would go in and out. But it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just,
We have one lady who comes every year. She's not a member of the church. She doesn't come to the church, but she comes and helps us every year.
uh-huh.
And a couple of years ago, I heard Sue scream, "Take them off! Take them off!" I thought, what's she talking? I looked around. Here's this lady, this elderly lady, older than us. And she's tiny. Here she came down that gym wearing pink roller skates.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
But back to what Sue said. We are a group of committed Christian ladies. We're a little mature now, so we have a few of us come on canes, etc. But that relationship, I think, is what we have developed being together, and we grow, and we know each other so well that we are productive while having fun and always thankful for
Mhm.
the donations we've gotten, the money we've earned. There's always an opportunity for us to use that money in a wise way. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
Mhm.
And it's been passed on, and Brenda has some names of some of the ladies that has has helped us that are I mean, Dot Hawk is one that's still with us, but there's some others that are not.
Margaret Keith, Nancy Poe, Lorraine Taylor, Agnes Barnes, Lyndall Frazier, and there are some others that started this and kept it going and were so instrumental. And I wanted to mention our kitchen.
I was going to ask about that.
Yes, different people bring something, and every day we have a really good meal. Usually it's very different. Yesterday we had we had the salads that were left over from Sunday, and today we've already heard that we're going to have soup beans, cornbread, fried potatoes with onions in them. So that's a
Yay.
very important part
Yeah.
of our day each day.
And I'm sure that makes, obviously there's lots of reasons that the hard work feels worth it, but when you get to sit down and have a nice meal together, I'm sure that
Mhm.
really brings it all together.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Our next question is, what have been some of the weirdest items that have been donated in the yard sale? I'm sure you've got some every year that you're just like, what is this?
Every year we have that.
Well, I brought a prop with me this year. I mean, several years, every year we get something and we get it out and we say, what is it? This year it's this. We say, what is it? We have no idea. What is it? We pass it around, we look at it, we turn it over, we work it. What is it? It doesn't work. What is it?
It's a
So,
mousetrap.
Well, maybe somebody that watches the podcast would be like, oh, I know what that is.
Yes. Please. Yes.
That's
We
great.
had furs, women's furs. We've had lots of, we've had a wedding, at least one wedding dress that I know of. And then some prom dresses, very fancy dresses, down to jeans with holes in them.
In all the years, I'm sure, along with getting lots of, strange items, you've also had really, really heartfelt moments, maybe when a shopper has come up to you and been like, I found just what I needed, or, something that like I couldn't have afforded otherwise, or like I've been hoping to find for weeks. Without sharing any names, do you have any stories like that you can remember?
I do. I I usually just walk around and mark down items if I and I walked around a table and there was a young lady sitting in the middle of the floor, cross-legged, and she was looking at children's clothing, getting out to see what and some other items and I kind of watched her and I knew that she didn't have the
Mhm.
funds. And so I walked over to her and we kind of talked. And so we just bagged everything up and marked it as sold and she didn't went home. So she got some really nice things for
Mhm.
children and herself
Yeah.
and toys and things like that. So there's all kinds of things that can touch your heart.
Mhm.
And
They'll come in and go, that's exactly what I wanted to get for my, and don't tell anybody. It'll be a surprise.
Yes,
And that's always fun to do.
that is
Well,
fun.
something just happened.
Yesterday, yeah,
No, just now,
just now.
right before we left. The man with
Oh.
that wanted the trucks for the
Autistic child.
he
Oh.
said,
Mhm.
we, he said, I'd love to have the whole tub. And they were beautiful
Oh,
trucks.
the monster trucks.
Beautiful
Those were,
trucks.
yeah.
Yes.
And it was a very good price for those trucks.
Well, that's so special when you know it's going to a child who's going to be so excited, like Christmas morning, to see all their favorite kinds of toys. That's
Right.
wonderful.
But I said, will you give me a certain price? And he said, no, but I'll give you a higher price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Now we have also coming from the Haven of Rest,
Mhm.
2 men come to help us unload cars and unload trucks. And that program's been going on for at least 3 years.
Mhm.
We really do appreciate them, and they're always a hoot. And we
Yeah.
get to know them, and they get to pick some things that they want. We want them to go ahead and, if there's anything, and so they get
Yeah.
bags of things. And so
Mhm.
that's been a big help to the garage sale.
Yes, I remember last year they helped me unload like a piece of furniture from my car, and I was very grateful because I had my kids with me and it was a mess.
Well,
Yeah.
it primarily is the Women in Faith
Mhm.
group that put on the yard sale. Of
Mhm.
course, United Methodist Men
Mhm.
help with some of the furniture rearrangement here in the church. But we came to the point that we couldn't physically handle some of the responsibilities and we needed strong men help.
Yeah.
So we had those guys come and help
Well,
us.
I know they've been a big blessing. So our next question is kind of a fun one, and it's for Brenda. So I understand that you are a member of Wheeler because of the yard sale, and that was sort of your first introduction to us. So if you could share us a little bit about that story, I think people would really enjoy it.
I'll be glad to. It's a wonderful story. When I moved from um, Kingsport to Bluntville, I was looking for a church, and I went to several, and didn't have that tug. And so my friend Sue here said, well, we're getting ready to have a garage sale, and why don't you come and help? And I thought, well, I can do that. So I came with Sue, and immediately those women wrapped their arms around me, and I knew I had found my church. It was it was just magical. You could tell that God was all over the place, and he was saying, Brenda, this is for you. So I've been here about 12 years. I haven't missed but one kind of, and I will say at this point, last year I was extremely ill, and this church is a praying church. My women in faith prayed. I knew they were helping me with God. We prayed and prayed, and here I am, and we never expected that. So that in itself has been meaningful. I was the first member to join the church up in our nice pavilion. We have a pavilion up on the hill, and I was the first one to join the church up there, and that was exciting. And then recently, I celebrated my 1 year wedding anniversary. Dick and I were married in this church a year ago, and all of that had to do with the garage sale. He comes and helps. So our life just involves around the yard sale. And what it meant to me, there are no words except that I knew God was in it. And I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's the greatest blessing. And as they have said, we all work together and get to know each other better, or for worse. And so, life goes on, but I highly recommend, if you're looking for a church, come to the garage sale. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. So for our viewers who are
Bless you.
listening to this, before the yard sale has taken place, can you tell us how to, when to be here so that we can have that kind of experience? What is our yard sale time for this year?
Monday, I wish. Friday at the 17th, 8 to 3,
8 to 3.
and then Saturday, 8 to 3.
Mhm.
And we have clothing bags, $5 a bag. And we have some clothing that has new tags. I mean, a couple. So it's
We literally have everything that you need in the house. I don't think we have a car yet, but
Oh, yeah.
and if you don't need it, come and look for it.
you'll find something.
Now, before that, starting on Sunday afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we work in the Family Life Center as people bring things in, setting them up. So that was I came that first day and was looking around and trying to do this. And this is when the ladies came up and
Mhm.
said this, that, that. So we work
Mhm.
for those days, just getting it set up for the garage sale. every day.
Absolutely. And if you are local to Blunteville or not quite as local and you have things to drop off, anytime before Friday, you just bring it on in and you'll be greeted by lots and lots of smiling
Mhm.
faces and
Right.
people who are happy to see you.
We will be happy to receive it.
Yes.
And sometimes we see gifts, items that we've sold and they're back.
Yeah.
We resell
Yeah.
items, and that's always a
There's a joke that we've sold a hat 4 times, but
It's almost like a lending library at that point. Someone
Right.
rented it and then
Do we have time for a quick funny story?
I think we can fit one more in. Absolutely.
Last year, a lady at the church cleared out the basement, and she brought a set of glasses that it was a wedding gift, and she never used it. And they've been married, 50 years or something?
Yeah.
And later that day, her husband came in and bought those glasses and took them home and washed them, put up in the cabinet. And he said, "Honey, look what I bought for us today."
I remember that.
yeah, he was so proud.
Yes.
So proud.
Oh goodness, that's the type of thing you would see in a movie. Doesn't feel like real life. But yeah, as you can tell, the yard sale is a real fun time. So we hope that if you're in the area, you're able to come by and check it out for a little bit,
Yes,
see if you find
please.
anything you like. I'm so thankful to all of you ladies for joining in on this conversation and for all the hard work that you're about to go back and keep doing in there. So thank you for taking the time to come speak with us about the yard sale, and thank all of you for listening in. We really hope to see you sometime this week.
Yes.
Take
Have a
care.
good day.
Love you.
Beyond Sunday. Beyond Sunday. Beyond Sunday.